You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our WTIM Pana morning show with business, civic, and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana morning show, it's brought to you by our title sponsor in People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, as well as Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, the Oconee Chop Chop, and Pana Bowl. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and our guest in this segment is Scott Dorr. Scott is the superintendent for Nokomis CUSD number 22. Scott, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, Grayson. Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Weather-wise and everything the likes, doing good on this end, and hoping that summer treated you all right and you were able to take at least a little bit away from the school side of things. Was that the case for you?
Well, a little bit. There's always work to do over the summer, and so we got a lot of planning to do and a lot of state reports to get done. But it was a quick summer like always, and we're in full swing for the 25-26 school year.
Before we get into the full swing and the back up and running, just was wondering on the summer side for the schools, what did that kind of look like? What did we maybe implement, or was it just kind of a standard summer when it comes to the school district over in Nokomis?
Yeah, this summer was kind of unique for us. It was pretty quiet. We had our custodial team go through all the buildings and make sure everything was ready to go. We did get a new video board installed in our new gym and have a ton of sponsors that has helped us do that, and we appreciate all those individuals. We'll highlight them throughout the academic and athletic school year in the new gym. And, we were just doing a lot of planning, getting ready for not only this school year, but our 26 renovation project.
Well, let's talk that 2026 renovation project, because I'm interested on this end. The planning that was done, I'm sure it's not finalized, but what do we kind of have right now as the vision for those renovations come 2026? Sure.
So we've done a lot of renovations. We started back in 2017. The Board of Education made a commitment to maintain our buildings and keep them in excellent working condition. So we've done a lot of renovations over the years, and this should be about our last phase of renovations for a while. So we will finish up the high school, doing some renovations in the halls and the science classrooms, the girls' locker rooms, and just very, hit and miss places that we haven't hit over the years. Put in new LED lighting, some fresh paint, some new doors, all things like that. And then over at North Elementary School, we will renovate the entire second floor of the grade school of the old building and get it up to date and modernized as we have done in the past with the other buildings. Plus, we'll put some central air in the 1960 edition for both the grade school and the high school, and everybody will enjoy that.
I'm sure everybody will like to see some of those changes, and it sounds like they're pretty lofty goals, but it sounds like we've got this whole summer to plan and this school year to continue on doing so.
Absolutely. So yeah, we've met with the architects, we've met with our construction managers, and they're doing their thing right now, and we'll start reviewing and start getting this finalized for the fall.
And I would ask, what's got you excited about that? But I would have to imagine the whole deal has got you probably pretty excited to see just a facelift going on. You mentioned renovations, though, starting in 2017. So this has been something that's gone for year after year now. How would you say from your end of things that's gone since 2017?
I think it's gone really well. We've kind of divided it up into phases. Hit the worst early on in 2017. We hit the worst part of the buildings and updated and modernized them, brought in new technologies, more AC, central air for our staff and our students, and just brought a whole new look to the building, especially at the high school, with the renovation of the foods labs and the computer labs and the cafeteria and kitchen areas, the library, etc. And also, modernizing some more classrooms. You have some of these buildings that were built in the 1910s, and they obviously at this point in time are over 100 years old and need electrical updates and plumbing updates and things like that. So it's always good to see that, the buildings are well maintained and supported with the new technologies that are available. Just to make the learning environment clean and safe for everyone.
Exciting stuff that's already happened, and some of which is planning to be coming back around as of summer of 2026. So I appreciate you filling us in on what this summer looked like and maybe a glimpse at what next summer might too look like as well. There was something exciting that you had also mentioned to me, and that was your student class size. And I'd love to just give the floor to you there. What can you tell us about the student class size this year at Nokomis?
Yeah, so the exciting thing is we have enrolled not only our regular students from last year, but we've enrolled over 35 new students for this school year, which is super exciting to see that we have people moving into the community and having their kids attend our public schools. And it just kind of gives credit, I think, to some of the things that we've done academically, but also giving those opportunities to kids vocationally as well as extracurricularly. And we also have welcomed 2 foreign exchange students this year that are being supported by host families, one from Italy and one from South Korea. They're both high school kids, and they're doing fabulous. I love bringing in foreign exchange students because it gives our students a different perspective on education, a different perspective on life, and teaches them about culture from other parts of the world. So that's always exciting to get. We've had several over the years, and we obviously welcome the 2 we have this year. But it looks like our population, our enrollment is increasing, and that's always good news for any public school.
And obviously good news, but what does it exactly mean for a public school to see a boost in the numbers like that? Increased funding? Is it, am I along the right lines, or what does it kind of mean to the school side?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, when 2019, when the General Assembly switched the funding formula for Illinois, which was called the evidence-based funding, it kind of did away with the old funding formula where funding was based on daily attendance. Now the funding formula is based on enrollment that's taken twice a year. So yeah, state funding does come into play. It's usually 1 to 2 years behind. Obviously, with states reporting gets done in the summer, and budgets are passed in the spring by the General Assembly. But it eventually catches up to us. But I just like seeing the school full, right? Seeing kids do what kids do, and having them participate in tons of activities that we offer, and not only going to the core courses, but enjoying the electives and the vocational programs that we offer here. I think it just gives them a well-rounded education by the time they graduate.
So 35 new students, 2 foreign exchange students this year, and Nokomis has big plans when it comes to the summer of 2026. Well, Scott, let's take ourselves our first break. Scott Dorr, Nokomis CUSD number 22 superintendent, joining us here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. We'll come back around and talk more with him about Nokomis, some changes that were made, and some maybe new faces, athletics, curriculum, and more. You're listening to WTIM and our Pana Morning Show.
Your information station. WTIM.
Here's a commodity market update on the RFD radio network. I'm Rita Frazier. This hour, we are lower in the corn and beans, higher in the wheat. September corn down 3/4, 388.5. December down 2, 410 1/4, and March corn down 2 3/4 at 427. Soybeans for September down 1 3/4, 1023 3/4. November trading down 2 1/2. On the January soybeans down 3 this hour at 1064 3/4. How about wheat? Chicago, September up 2 1/4, 509. December up 1 3/4 at 531. March wheat up 1 3/4, 548 3/4. Your bean meal for September is up 120 at 296.90, and the September bean oil down 108, 53.23.
This is Jeff Bremmett with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, Brian at Bob Writings in Pana here to tell you about our August clearance event where we're making room for all of our winter models due here in September. We have used Jeep, Nissan, Ford vehicles under $20,000. We have new Chrysler Voyagers under $40,000. We have new Jeep Compasses under $30,000. We have new trucks with 3/4 tons under $50,000 and half tons in the very, very low 40s. All the way up to the top trim, we have something for everyone. We have the biggest inventory we've had in years. You can find us online at bobwritingspana.com.
Looking for food, fun, and bowling? Head to Pana Bowl. We've got open bowling every Friday and Saturday night, perfect for family fun or a night out with friends. Don't miss our Tuesday and Wednesday special, unlimited bowling from 5 to 10 p.m. for just $9. Feeling hungry? Our kitchen's cooking up favorites Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit PanaBowl.net or like us on Facebook for the latest deals and events. Pana Bowl, where the good times roll.
Summer's heating up, and so is your grill. Stop by Oconee Chop Shop, your local USDA butcher shop right off Highway 51 in Oconee, Illinois. We've got premium cuts of beef, pork, and chicken, plus barbecue sauces, cheeses, eggs, sodas, and more. Need custom meat processing? Bring in your own animal, and we'll handle it start to finish. We also do custom deer processing October through January. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 1. Find us on Facebook or at OkoneeChopShop.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our WTIM Pana Morning Show with Pana civic, nonprofit, and business leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. And today, just a slight difference. We're headed the way of Nokomis with Superintendent Scott Dorr of Nokomis CUSD number 22. Scott and I have been talking about the summer, renovations for next summer and this, and the student class size. We'd like to turn our attention to some of the new faces and the fact that we are fully staffed as we make our way into the 25-26 academic year. Scott, how many new faces did we bring on?
Oh my goodness, we probably brought on about 8 new faces so far this year between teachers and support staff. So we're glad to see them joining the Nokomis community. We have mostly junior high staff. Teachers have been most of the new faces with math and science and special education, and then another special education teacher over at North Elementary, and several new paraprofessionals are in the district. So it was a busy summer doing interviews and hiring people, but we are fully staffed and everyone's ready to go. And our veteran teachers have stepped up to become mentors for our new teachers in the district, and doing our mentoring and induction program, which is a great 2-year program that we put on for all new teachers in the district. And so everybody is dug in. We're a little over a week of that we've been in session so far, and so far so good. Things are going smoothly.
Well, that's great to hear. Obviously a school year can be a bit hectic. You add 8 new folks into that mix and can make it that much more challenging for everybody, really. But it sounds like everybody has stepped up to the plate that has needed to do so, and exciting stuff for you guys there. 8 new faces for the Nokomis School District. And curriculum-wise, what about changes have been made, or what changes have been made, if any?
So the only big change we made is we did go with a new elementary science curriculum this year. So that's being fully implemented. We got it over the summer. The teachers have had professional development on how to use the program. So we're excited to see that implementation for the new science curriculum, and everything else is pretty much status quo in regards to all of our other core content areas. As far as curriculum goes, it seems, at least from our information that we've gathered, that it's been successful in its implementation, and we'll continue to work on that.
I'm sure it's not just fire and forget, here it is, and we're good to go.
No.
So a little bit of obviously teacher input probably there as well. And so it really helps
absolutely
to have that clear line of communication. And the last thing we wanted to touch on with just about a minute and a half here is athletics. They're just right around the corner, even this Friday.
Yeah, actually, even tonight. We have our home opener with volleyball tonight against Central A&M, and Friday night we turn on the lights on that football field, and we'll bring Argenta Oriented to Nokomis, and we'll take them on.
Well, if volleyball's starting tonight, then you got to go ahead and get football going. What are we expecting from athletics here this fall? What can you tell me?
I think in terms of volleyball, we're going to be super competitive again this year. Last year we made it all the way, to the sectional finals, and just got beat out a little bit on that one. But we have several girls that are returning this year, and I think we're going to be super, super competitive in volleyball and make our path through that way. Football, I think we have some great kids that came back, our seniors this year. I think we'll be competitive in our conference and our schedule. I'm looking forward to a great fall season athletic-wise.
I'm sure, and very cool for you to be able to be involved in the way that you are. Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Yep, thank you very much.
Of course. Scott Dorr, Superintendent for Nokomis CUSD number 22, joining us here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville.